Ladies and gentlemen, Gungans and droids, today is a historic moment in Galaxy of Heroes. Behind me, you see what I used to call Beskar Mandalorian, one of the worst journey characters of all time, probably still is, but it's time to bury the hatchet. I talked to my mom, and she's like, you know what? It's time to let bygones be bygones. So I prepared a statement here. Mando, you aren't 100% trash anymore. Thank you. Thank you. I know that took a lot of courage out of me to make it happen. But yes, Mando is no longer 1000% trash in Galaxy Heroes, maybe 999%. But nonetheless, this guy and his little friend down there are crucial to countering Galactic Legends. Never thought there'd be the day that I would praise Mando. I mean, for the most part, let's be fair, this guy was just all right. It wasn't a special character, nowhere near the level of Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, the Revans, Commander Luke Skywalker, even for that matter. However, with the way Galaxy Heroes is panning out, this is the first time I'm like, wow, he's actually kind of useful in Galaxy Heroes. Yes, he's got the Razor Crest, but I care about what can I do besides the ship. Yes, the executive makes the Razor Crest amazing. We've already known that. But with Beskar Mando and his little friend, maybe it's really his friend, Grogu, I should give all the credit, but Wonders of the Force is doing wonders when it comes to countering Galactic Legends. So for the first time in forever, 1 year, 3 months later, he's being useful. Fine. Let me explain what's going on currently. Right now in Galaxy of Heroes, I could have retitled this video Lord Vader Trash episode 500, but you know, the title gets a little old. Everyone knows that Lord Vader's in shambles, but nonetheless, people have been trying to adapt to the situation. Bounty hunters pretty much almost getting nat spanners, allowing for multiple misplays. You guys see me sometimes misplaying. We still walk without leaving anyone alive. Obviously, no point in doing a lineup like that. It's bounty hunter food right there. So we've been seeing the team evolve because let's be honest, Maul's the only thing really carrying the Lord Vader team. And really to get the most viability out of Lord Vader is to make sure Maul gets his frenzy trigger twice before the enemy starts taking turns. We've been seeing lineups, for example, Mara Jade Magma Trooper. Magma Trooper through Empress, our useful pawn, gets 100 tons of turn meter, starts at the battle, removes turn meter, triggers Maul's frenzy, and then Lord Vader comes in, does this, the first AoE he does, and that gets Maul to start doing his fancy little jazz hands. We see things like Wat Tambor, kind of the same thing. Passes a random tech, usually a Royal Guard, it doesn't matter. It's meant to get Maul going. Lord Vader then goes and Maul goes again, trying to get the jazz hands. I'll show you what it looks like in essence if you haven't seen me showcase it on stream a few times. Or we got lineups like this where, you know, maybe you're not going to outrun Lord Vader with Magma Trooper or Wat Tambor, but you're going to have Lord Vader go Maul, and you're going to have a fast character like Gideon. Boom! Tons of turn meter, Maul gets rolling. And we've seen lineups like this with Canderous. Lord Vader goes, Maul goes, Canderous goes, Maul goes again, kind of like how the Mandalorian lineup works out. Point being is it's meant to do something like this. Let's hop on over to Squad Arena. We've been experimenting a lot. The last two Grand Tours, we did a lot of testing. You know, usually by the end of the season, we kind of screw around a little bit. And we kind of messed around with this right here. So let me show you what it looks like. Let's take out the guy that we're trying to talk about today, and let me show you what it normally looks like. So usually, you go in with something like this. This is where the Fennec Shan lead excels because there's so many debuffs to get cleansed in a heartbeat. Well, watch what happens in this scenario. When you get the go before Maul does the fancy little jazz hands back-to-back turns, you know, you get rolling. But here, if you can't go before him, your whole team gets dismantled. So here we go. This normally, if there was no Wat Tambor or Magma Trooper, Mara Jade, or a fast Gideon, your whole team gets dismantled. And people are like, oh, wow, we made Lord Vader viable against Bounty as well. Not so much. First things first, this is still easy Traya 2-shot food. There is no Lord Vader composition that seems to stop Traya from at least 2-shotting the lineups. Let me show you how Beskar Mando fits into the equation. It's the most used I've ever seen this guy showcase right now in Galaxy of Heroes. I mean, for the most part, Mando's been like, you know, you throw him on defense because, you know, it's like, all right, it's better than Maul's leftover Sith Lords, but it's still easy to get max banners. That's not a threatening team by any stretch of the imagination. But if you can have it, take on Lord Vader teams and not need, again, no Omicrons. We're in Squad Arena right now. No Zam Omicron, and you can get some pretty serious banners. I mean, I gotta say this. The good thing is when Lord Vader came to the game, I haven't knocked on Mando as much. You know, there's a new kid on the block to kick around on the playground. But watch, Maul goes, That's fine. Lord Vader goes. Now Maul's gonna go, but Mando here acts as a little bit of a safeguard. The most important character to keep around is Fennec here because, well, she's the one that kind of kicks apart the whole team. Mando is important to get rid of Royal Guard, don't get me wrong, but he can revive himself. Maul can't stop the revive. So I always target Fennec Shan first in this situation, and they'll probably kill off Mando, and they're gonna go after Fennec, and damage unity saved the Thade here. Now look at this, because Mando's cleansing through Wonder of the Force, we already got our contract triggered, and we're ready to rock and roll, my friends. And Fennec, now that she's got her fancy seasoned veteran, she can ignore taunts, and I can go straight for Maul. So normally, I'll just throw a basic over there. We're gonna taunt up with him. Beautifully done. We're gonna drop a little bit of a Uno reverse card. Actually, yeah, let's get Mando up and running here. And usually in this particular lineup, we'll just go ahead and stun Gary because we're gonna get rid of Royal Guard anyways. Here we go. We're gonna get rid of Royal Guard. Bye-bye, he's gonzo. And, eventually we're going to get Maul out of here. I mean, once Maul does his opening play, he's not doing as much. Next, look at that. Nice and clean. And you guys pretty much know how the rest of this pans out. You just kind of pick it one by one. Lord Vader's going to go in exalted, but, he can't get around this boss. This boss is just way too freaking durable right here. And you know what? At this point, you can maybe take a number 2. Go ahead and poop at this point. Do another reverse Uno card. Now, we don't have our bounty hunters resolved, so we can't work around the taunt. So we're just going to go all in on Gerber. Always calling Fennec to assist because she does some pretty gnarly damage. You know what I'm going to do? Let's go ahead. Drop some armor shred right there. Barely an inconvenience. All right, we're going to do another basic right here. Surprised it didn't pass over the taunt tech, but, that works out in our favor here. All right, let's go ahead, and I'm going to see if we can maybe try to get rid of... I mean, you don't need him killing off people, but you know what? Since there aren't that many people, he usually gets enough whistling birds, and because of this as well right here, you're juicing up our offense by an extra 50%, and you guys know how it goes at this point. So I don't know what the moral of the story is. One, that now you can beat Lord Vader without a Zam Omicron, and now you can pull out a mediocre defense off your defense, that being Beskar Mando, and this is more useful than him giving sometimes max banners to the opponent. So again, we're gonna hop in, and the thing that baffles me, there's not even an Omicron attached to this right here. It's just Mando. He just kind of steps in, ruins Maul's groove, and it's kind of game, set, match at this point. Let's go ahead and roll it again, shall we? All right, Maul's going to get that frenzy triggered, and then Lord Vader's going to trigger that frenzy again, and then we're going to start getting some jazz hands. Oh, a little bit early, which is fine. Normally, as before, I believe they started making work before we stepped in, but here we go. We're going to go give it to Fennec. I always give the Fennec first. He's way too important. Don't worry, we can always bring him back. Going all in on Fennec, Mando, it doesn't really matter at that point. We got the damage immunity on them. I'm going to start, we have a little bit of offense down. It's going to be a little bit of a problem. It's all good. We'll come back around in a moment. We're going to taunt up. They can't work around that all too well. Let's clean up all these debuffs. I'm going to go and try to stun Gary. And in a moment, Mando's going to do his thing here. Actually, he got his cooldowns increased. So you know what? Cool. Let's show how this works when maybe our cooldowns get a little bit of wrecked out the get-go. Let's see if we can get rid of Maul. He's out of the picture already. This poor Galactic Legend. When the community tries to get clever and try to stop this, we end up discovering a better way without any Omicrons needed. I don't know what you're gonna do with Zam Omicron after this. You already took out Mando, Grief, and Boss, but maybe you could do like Django or Zam Wessel. There's still some boundaries that might get use out of her at that point. Let's go ahead and do another Uno reverse card here. And just drop a basic right here. Doesn't quite matter. And then we should be able to get rid of him. 3, 2, 1. Goodbye. And then we're going to go ahead and drop it on Gear Bear. All right. And, not much else we can do. You know what I'll do? You know what? Because I'm feeling a little cheeky, I'll go ahead and take the Retribution. Barely a tickle. Let's go ahead. Full send over here. All right. Looking good. We got the damage over time. It's going to slow down our turn meter train, but that's fine. Keep the taunt up, and we can't get around, so we're just going to go ahead and give it to our girl Fennec over here. Boom, boom, boom. All right, looking pretty spiffy. Full send over here. And we got a stun on Gary. Gonna take a little bit of an AoE, barely a tickle. We'll be fine at the end of the day. Basics like to heal up our team. That should get rid of Gary, and goodbye, what? And then you just pretty much work your way through. You know what I'll do? Let's keep Bosk alive. He's got the taunt up. That should help us out. Actually, that was a frenzy trigger. My bad. Probably should have given it over here. Uno reverse card. Let's just keep those armor shreds going. We got 8 stacks now. We're going to get a fancy counterattack. I mean, keep it over on Fennec. At this point, Mando's done his job. If you lose Mando, it's fine. Mando's main job is to kill off Royal Guard. Fennec will carry the rest. Full send over here. It's just super satisfying. I'm afraid that's actually going to win us right there. But look at the banners. Not too bad. If this was Grand Arena, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 banners. And if you took a non-Omicron non-Galactic Legend team that really only took, really the only big ticket item was really, you know, the least exciting journey character ever come to Galaxy Heroes. I feel like if anything, we're progressing forward. So thanks, Lord Vader, helping the community innovate and find more or less Omicron ways. The question I have now is like, oh man, what do I mean, because Zam Wessel was critical to make this happen. Now that we can make this happen without an Omicron, makes me wonder what I'm going to use her with. I mean, I guess you could throw her with Django, Boba Fett. I mean, it's not a great team, but you know, it's an all right team, I suppose. But you know, let's just do it one more time because I find it super sad. I'm trying to roll it a few times to see if maybe there's some degree of RNG that messes us up. But you know, in Grand Arena, I don't know why I felt like doing something a little cheeky. Even though we knew this was a thing, we decided to try Boba Fett sign of Django lead. We killed off Maul. But this is the best way to go because with Fennec, you just got to clean off a few debuffs. Oh, look at this. They won majority over there on the damage immune fellas over here. Let's just go ahead and drop our basic right now. Good stuff. Taunt up. Once we got that taunt up, they don't have a lot of ways to work around it. We're going to do Uno reverse card. Did they increase cooldowns on Mando? I didn't pay attention. Stun Gary, because we're going to get rid of this guy anyways. Here we go. Even better. This time, it didn't get our cooldowns direct. Get him out of the picture. There's not even a concern to go after Maul because Fennec's just going to go around and kick him right into the robotic nuts. 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye! Funniest part is the people that are like, no, Lord Vader's fine. He's the best Galactic Legend of all time. I feel bad for those people, man. Good luck trying to do this with Jedi Master Kenobi, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, all that fun stuff. Uno reverse card. Who they? Oh, see, now they gave the right tech over. Unfortunately, they're not going to get protect, but at least Gary will cleanse himself if I do try to stun him. All in on Wat Tambor, and again, it doesn't really matter what the lineup is. Magma Trooper, Mara Jade, Pandorus, Fast Gideons. As long as you got Mando in here to kind of make sure that Maul doesn't kill anyone, kind of tames the beast, you're usually pretty fine. Again, most important thing is making sure we don't lose Fennec because she's important to kill off Vader. The other guys, they can't really kill off Vader. Let's just try to get around this tank. Do we got another Mass Storm? That would be really nice right about now. Let's see. Nice counter. Oh, there we go. Let's go heal up. Almost to a kill. Let's see. That might get rid of Gary. And he's down for the count. And for the fun of it, we'll kill him off this time so you can see how it works out. Bringing in Fennec for the assist. No armor shreds yet, but that's not really going to be a huge problem. There we go. Drop some armor shreds. There we go. One into the damage immunity. Mando wants to go for it. All right, he's going for the number 2. Here we go. So this is why you need Fennec, because unfortunately you can't insta-kill him. It's like the Nyla situation. You'll do 69,000 damage. Nice. And then it's just Fennec. As long as she survives, you're going to be fine. Mando's going to hopefully step in here in a moment. He actually might die with the damage over time. That's fine. He did his job and he stayed alive at the end of the day. So a lot of stories to pull out of her. One, I don't hate Beskar Mando as much. This is the most use I've seen out of the guy since his conception in Galaxy Heroes. A very lackluster character. His team is kind of It's just, it was always just one of those teams where it was better than putting some leftover garbage thing. It was a team, but it wasn't a team I would want to brag to my mom about. If I'm going to brag to my mom, I'm going to show the other journey characters we've had, like, for example, Jedi Knight Revan, Darth Revan, the Lukes, of course, in this game. Beskar Mando was like, oh yeah, and there's that guy over there. But nonetheless, Beskar Mando has opened up a new era for bounty hunters now, thanks to the Fennec Shan lead working for both scoundrels as well as bounty hunters. Just clean up 20 debuffs because Lord Vader and the crew, they apply a ton of debuffs, so very easy to get going. Beskar Mando cleans it up, gets the contract earlier, even before Bosk and Grief Karga do their thing at the end of the day here. And man, oh man, no more Omicron needed on Zam Wessel to counter Lord Vader, it seems like. My, oh my. Again, Lord Vader's in such a weird pickle. But nonetheless, I love seeing off-meta stuff. You know, it's so funny. CG has pushed themselves in such a bad precedent. Because of their whole nerf, they really wanted to separate Galactic Legends more. All it did is that it just created a new desire to find new ways to counter Galactic Legends. So I feel like, although those old counters might be dead, you know what? Nothing's ever really gone. The off-meta is still very much alive. It just kind of evolved in a slightly different way. Anyways, leave a like, comment down below, subscribe so you're not missing a thing. Let's see if CG's gonna get their panties in a bunch and want to nerf what they saw here. But nonetheless, you guys know the drill. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, remember that it's great to be in the Empire today.